Hold on. Not sure how to do this. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry if y'all can hear my kids in the background. They out the house, even though you probably can't tell with all that loud going on. Okay, not sure why my camera's not working. I don't know if anybody can see me, but I can't see me. So nevertheless, interesting though, I was thinking about doing just a voiceover. But anyway, so as you can see from the title, Shabbat's over. Now what? I had a conviction well over a month ago, maybe 2 months ago now. And I was noticing a pattern after Shabbat. It seemed like my family, we would all just kind of disperse after spending time together and or going out to fellowship, whatever we did for Shabbat. And we would not, it was almost like, okay, let's run back to the world now. Shabbat's over. And I was feeling some type of way. I'm not going to lie. So, it was confirmed though that I wasn't just blowing wind. My daughter, a couple of weeks later, came to me. Oh gosh, of course. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. So, nevertheless, my daughter comes to me a couple of weeks later, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, you don't have to continue watching that." I was watching a message from Watchman Reports. If you haven't gone to them yet, oh my gosh. Yeah, it has blessed me so many times through this wife and husband ministry. So go check them out. Anyway, I was watching one of their videos, and after Shabbat, I decided to not run to my phone or whatever it was. And when she said that, I was like, man, okay, so I'm dead on. I don't like it. So I had a little chat with them, and I was like, we have to find something different. We can't, not me in my house. We are not going to run back to the world like that. So what I mean by that is, I'm not saying, oh, well, you can't go and, whatever you're trying to do, go out to dinner or have family time, watch a movie with the kids. I don't know. Whatever you're trying to do. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. What I am saying to you, though, is let's look at these scriptures. And maybe if you're like someone like me in my situation, where maybe that's a conviction for you as well, let's look at these scriptures. For those of you who don't even know what Shabbat is, people say in the English, Sabbath. Sabbath day is what people would think is Sunday, where you go to church and that's a day of rest for you. But really, when you look back in your history, it is, we observe it on Saturday. If you go back and look at Constantine, he is the guy who decided he was going to change the Sabbath day or Yah's day of rest from Saturday to Sunday. And back in Genesis, we know that it took him 6 days to create the heavens and the earth and all that is in it. He also said on the seventh day, he rested. So that was a set apart day. And if you go to Isaiah 58, we can read, starting at verse 13, he talks about, and it says, if you do not, or if you do turn back your foot from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my set apart day, and shall call the Shabbat a delight, the set apart day of Yahuwah esteemed, and shall esteem it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words. Then you shall delight yourself in Yahuwah, and I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth, and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob or Jacob, your father. For the mouth of Yahuwah has spoken. So all it takes is 5 minutes of your time to go back and look in Exodus and see where he establishes Shabbat as a command to us. We are supposed to take this day and set it apart. So once you understand that, you come to this verse. He says, if you do not turn back your foot from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my set apart day, and shall call the Shabbat a delight, the set apart day of Yahuwah esteemed, and shall esteem it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words. So he's saying, if you take my Shabbat, set it apart, and you delight in this day that I have set apart for you. He says, there's another scripture where it says, man was made for Shabbat, not Shabbat made for man. He made this for us. This is a day for us to rest and regather ourselves and just take a refreshment time. And yeah, it says, if we don't do our own pleasures, now let me back up. I know it's talking about within the Shabbat day, but I'm talking about after. So I still see how this applies even after. Now, it's not a command here per se that you have to continue resting as if it were Shabbat and so on and so forth. I know the other 6 days we have to work. But once the sun goes down, do you just run off to your phone? Do you just run off to the TV? Do you run off and go hang out with Ray, Pookie, and them? I mean, seriously, I want you to think about that, because he says, you shall delight yourself in Yahuwah. When we do these things, when we set it apart, when we glorify him, when we glorify it, because this is a sign between Yah and his people. This is something special. This is not just any ordinary day. That's why it's a set apart day. But I believe even after that, we need to take some time and think, I know I just spent a wonderful day. I meditated. I went and fellowshipped. I got in the word. All that is good. But I mean, when I think about it, do I really want to break away from that? I don't want to leave that. I don't want to just turn it on and off like a light switch, if that makes any sense. He says, if we keep reading, I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob your father. For the mouth of Yahuwah has spoken it. So look at what we get when we observe the Shabbat day. So so look. When we do these things, it says that he'll cause us to ride on the heights of the earth. I mean, we untouchable, right? I mean, we doing our thing. He says, and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob, your father. What was the inheritance of Jacob? Let's go to Genesis 28. And I'm going to read the whole thing. It's not long. Bear with me. It's 1 through 22. It says, and Yitzchak, or Isaac, called Jacob and blessed him and commanded him and said to him, do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take a wife for yourself from there, from the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you and make you fruitful and increase you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and your seed with you, so that you inherit the land of your sojournings, which Elohim gave to Abraham. So Yitzchak sent Yaakov away, And he went to Paddan Aram to Laban, son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob, or Yaakov, and Esau. So, actually, I won't read all of it, but, clearly this is the background of his father Isaac sending him off to go find a wife and all this good stuff. And we get to verse 11, where it says, he came upon a place and stopped over for the night, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place and put it at his head. And he lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed and saw a ladder set upon the earth, and its top reached to the heavens, and saw messengers of Elohim going up and coming down on it. And see, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham your father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land on which you are lying, I give it to you and your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall break forth to the west and to the east, to the north and the south, and all the clans of the earth shall be blessed in you and in your seed. And see, I am with you, and shall guard you wherever you go, and shall bring you back to this land. For I am not going to leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. And Yaakov awoke from his sleep and said, truly, Yahuwah is in this place, and I did not know it. So, his heritage, what he inherited, was the promise that he had already given to his forefathers. If we read it again, he says, in 13, he says, I am Yahuwah of Abraham your father, and the Elohim of Yitzchak or Isaac. The land on which you are lying, I give to you and your seed. So we are inheriting that promised land, that land flowing with milk and honey, right? We know that. He says, and your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall break forth to the west, the east, the north, the south. All the clans of the earth shall be blessed in you and in your seed. So these are promises. Promises. We're getting a land inheritance, the land flowing with milk and honey. He says that our seed shall be as the dust. We're going to be numerous, y'all. And he says, I am with you and shall guard you wherever you go and shall bring you back to this land. For I am not going to leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. So we have land, we have abundance in family. We are going to be from the north to the east to the west, so on and so forth. And he says, and I'm going to guard you. I'm gonna be wherever you go. He says, and I'm gonna bring you back to this land. That's something to look forward to, y'all. We're gonna come back to this land that he has promised us long ago. He says, and I'm not gonna leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. That's amazing. So when we delight, just something simple as delighting ourselves in his set apart day, the seventh day, the Shabbat, and we continue to carry on, we already have that promise, right? He says, if we're going back to Isaiah 58, he says, if we do these things, I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob your father. So just by delighting in this day, and esteeming it, setting it apart, not finding our own pleasures, not speaking our own words, but really just doing what he wants us to do, letting him speak through us, causing his delights to become our own. He says, then you shall delight yourself in me, in Yahuwah. He says, I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob. So we already have this, right? What do you think would happen if we continue to just rest in him, to be in his will and in his way? Think about that. Not that this isn't more than enough of promises already just by doing this command right here. And that don't mean all you got to do is observe the Shabbat and then you good and you in the kingdom and you inheriting his promises. So don't trip up on my words. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is think about, as we uphold the commands, and we're doing this here, if we go beyond that, y'all, and we just say, you know what? I know I wanted to watch that movie, or I wanted to call Pookie and blah, 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 and do this and do that and the third. But you know what? This Shabbat, I'm just not going to rush off to do that. What if we do that, y'all? What if we do what Matthew 6:6 says? What if we say, when you pray, he says, but you, when you pray, go into your room and having shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place. And your Father who sees in secret shall reward you openly. And when praying, do not keep on babbling like the nations, for they think that they shall be heard for their many words. Therefore, do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. So he's talking about when we do our kind deeds, that we should not do them out in the open at the beginning of this chapter. And he goes in and he says that we shouldn't be like the hypocrites. Don't be praying to be heard. So I know it's in context to that, but what if we go ahead and say, okay, yeah, I'm not going to rush off and do my own pleasures, even though Shabbat's over. I know it's okay if I do it, but I just want to spend more time with you. So I'm going to go in my room. I'm going to shut my door and I'm going to pray. Pray in my secret place because I know that you're there. It says, pray to your Father who is in the secret place, right? And I'm talking to myself too. Why don't we just do something like that? It don't got to be every Shabbat. We can take baby steps. You know what I mean? Let's get into our secret place. Let's say, Father, what do you have for me? What do you want to talk about? Because I run my mouth all the time. What do you have to say? You know? And he probably been talking to you all day. That's fine. Let's talk some more. Or you know what? I don't even want to talk. I just want to worship you. I want to pray to you. I want to sing to you. I got a new song that's been laid on my heart. Let me share it with you, Father. I know you're the one that put it there, but you didn't put it there for me to keep quiet. Let me sing it to you. I got a new pep in my step, Daddy. Let me show you what I'm working with. You know, may you be glorified in this secret place. And it ain't so that he can just reward us openly. That shouldn't be the goal here. Now, yes, we should have an expectation, but I'm just saying do it because that's your desire to do so. I remember a time when I didn't have 4 kids. And I had time to just go in my secret place and spend hours and hours. Now, did I do that every time? No. But I would meditate. Didn't even know that's what I was doing, y'all, which is crazy. I had from top to bottom scriptures posted all in this room. And it's about to get loud because my kid sounds like they're coming in, so bear with me. But um top to bottom scriptures, just going over them. And I would just really think about what I'm reading. If y'all will bear with me. One moment. Be quiet. Sorry. So I would just sing about what I was reading sometimes. Because I didn't know what else to do, if I'm being quite honest with you. And it would be a wonderful time. I don't even know how to describe it outside of I knew that his presence was in there with me. I knew that he was there. He was delighting in what I was doing. And it brought tears to my eyes. It made me rejoice. And here come my kids.
Is maybe going to walk?
Can I finish my video? And we'll talk. Bye. 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 Love you. Love you. Bye. Goodness gracious, y'all. You got kids. You already know what's up. So it would just be an awesome time. That's all I'm really getting at. So what if we did this? We went into our secret room after Shabbat and we just prayed and just spent time with him. You know, it's amazing. And then not only we know that there's a reward in the open, but look at Jeremiah 33:3. It says, call unto me and I shall answer you and show you great and inaccessible matters which you have not known. Look at what he can do. You know, it ain't just about everything I said before. Of course, those matter, but look at what can be added on to that. Spending time with him, being rewarded openly, all these things. Call unto me and I shall answer you and show you great and inaccessible matters. Inaccessible mean they ain't accessible. These ain't just everyday matters that he's showing you or desires to show you. All this is at our access right now, y'all. And this goes for me as well. We can really tap into the Most High on a whole different level. If you desire growth, if you desire a deeper relationship with him, take that time, not just on Shabbat, any day. Any day. But of course, to stick to the title, take that time. Take two Shabbats. I told you, take 2 Shabbats out of the month where you say, I'm gonna spend an extra hour or extra 2 hours, whatever it is. I'm gonna extend this Shabbat. And I'm gonna still focus on you, Father. I know I got things to clean up. I know I got diapers to change. I know I got that phone call I missed from so-and-so. I know I got these emails. Bump all that, Martha. You can do your server work. The next 6 days coming, you know? But why don't we be merry in this moment? Sit at your Father's feet because maybe he's not done talking to you just because the sun went down. Maybe he still has more to say. Or maybe he just really wants to sit down and enjoy his son, enjoy his daughter. He wants to show you those inaccessible matters which you have not known. He says, call unto me. I shall answer you and show you great and inaccessible matters. He wants to reward you openly. Whatever it is, there's something, Yah always has something to say. Yah always has something he wants to show us. And sometimes there are probably more of us than we realize that flip him on like a light switch at the break of the day and switch him off as soon as the sun sets. And that's not okay. We can't treat him like a habit, you know. We can't treat him like he has an allotted time frame and that's it. We got to do better. And I'm talking to me first. So I hope this encourages you to remember, yes, Shabbat day is a command and it is a day of rest that we are supposed to set apart and spend time with him. We are supposed to do all these things, you know. But don't cut him off so quickly. Don't be so quick to run to the cares of this world. This world ain't nothing changing in an hour outside of what's already going on, which is craziness. The only thing changing is probably that it went from worse to more worse. We know that. If you in your word, you realize what's going on. All the more reason to be rested and seated in the Most High Yah. Where's the Messiah at right now? He's at the right hand of Yah. And we too have this same accessibility to be seated at, we're not to be seated, we are seated at his right hand. He says we are to rest in him. He's going to make our enemies our footstool. He's going to be doing all these things for us while we're resting in him. So yes, we're fighting this spiritual battle. We know what's going on. But as we're fighting, we can also rest, and that rest does not end after sunset. So I encourage you, get up under your daddy, love on him even more, and just see what happens. It ain't gonna kill you. Yeah, willing. It ain't gonna hurt you to spend more time with him. So with that being said, family, if y'all have any suggestions of what that may look like outside of the examples I've given, I would love for y'all to share those in the comments. I just to share this really quickly, I got someone shared an idea with me of how they spend the end of their Shabbat. There's a couple who they light the Shabbat candles. I think that's more of a is a man-made tradition actually, um, but it's not a bad thing. So they light these candles and they say some words. I'm not sure what. I think it's like a prayer. I'm not sure. And they share in bread and wine. It sounds like a communion almost. And that's how they spend their night. They end their Shabbat. And that can carry over, you know. There's another family. This is not at the end of their Shabbat. It's actually bringing in the Shabbat where they sit down and have dinner and they just spend time as a family. You can do that at the end of your Shabbat. You can end it with a dinner and you can talk about what you enjoyed about Shabbat. There's someone else who does that with their kids. My best friend, I think she calls it Shabbat Sundays. Irony. It ain't Sunday, it's Saturday. Um, but she calls it that because her and her kids, they sit down and they make ice cream sundaes together. And as they're doing that, they talk about Shabbat and what they enjoyed and so on and so forth. So y'all might want to incorporate that in your own family, you know, maybe make your own tradition. Don't be all pharisaical about it, you know what I'm saying? But just make it something special. You know, if you got a big family, I know you can't always just get that secret place time and quietness. As y'all can see, I don't get that. But there is a way to do it. And so, even if none of those work for you, pray to your Father and tell him to lay on your heart how you can spend time with him even after his day of rest. And on that note, family, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all checking in with Break This Bread. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. And you ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do a thing. You know what I'm saying? But I do love y'all. And I hope to be on here sooner than later. And y'all enjoy this day that Yah has made. Rejoice and be glad in it. Much shalom.